the SU community is mourning the loss of 2 students in less than 48 hours.
We go to CitrusTV reporter Ricky Sayer, who is at the memorial right now. Ricky?
In any normal year, the death of a single student would send students here to the steps of Hendricks Chapel. They grieve, they mourn. None of that can happen this year. Instead, there is a small memorial, the University Hendricks Chapel, adding a plaque, a wreath, students adding some flowers. It's undoubtedly tougher to grieve right now, and this really is the end of a very difficult week on the Syracuse University campus.
Syracuse students this week witnesses to 2 tragedies. The sound of a siren becoming all too familiar.
It was traumatic.
The death of 2 students in as many days.
And as a freshman myself, I can feel this loss in the community because they were one of our own.
And that grief is a natural, predictable consequence of love.
Dean Brian Conkle has had the responsibility of leading Hendricks Chapel through far too many community deaths.
Grief has a ripple effect that impacts so many different individuals.
Both of these deaths, a shot in the heart for a campus already trying to get through a pandemic.
Here at Hendricks Chapel, undoubtedly this week we would have gathered people together here in this space as we typically do.
Instead, the chapel's pews are empty, the lights off, the aisles quiet.
In times of grief, I think that there's one critical promise that we can make to each other. And that's the promise that we do not journey through grief alone.
Because they were both just smart, really great kids. So it just sucks we can't come together and have something for them.
Dorothy Sabo is hurting more than most. She knew Trevor Daly Pierce.
It's hard seeing someone one day and then the next they're just gone.
The act of being together would mean the world.
It makes you feel not alone, and knowing that your pain isn't just one-sided. There are other people that are also going through the same thing as you.
Conkle says right now, the most important thing is people engaging with others.
Sometimes it's a phone call, sometimes it's an email or a text message. It's really about the connectivity of those relationships that I would say helps us to see that we're not alone in our grief.
Giving Dorothy just some comfort. A small memorial right outside Hendricks.
So seeing that just reminded me that everyone knows what happened and he's not forgotten, and yeah.
You can't. You need about 10 seconds. Conkle says the principles of grieving are the same. Their mission is the same, and they're doing what they can. There are multiple resources available for students who are struggling on campus, both here at the Hendricks Chapel and next door at the Barnes Center. For now, reporting here on the steps of Hendricks Chapel, Ricky Sayer, CitrusTV News.
Thank you, Ricky.